Hello, Noor here. Welcome to another episode of Love and Deep Space. Today the topic is going to be a little difficult. It's also a bit risky. So, a trigger warning for some very uncomfortable topics that we're going to talk about. And if it's uncomfortable for you, I request you to please take due caution and not watch this video. Because it contains some, although the whole matter is fiction, we're talking about fiction here, but it might be triggering to people. So please be very careful and do not indulge in this video if you're not comfortable. I was browsing through my Twitter timeline and I found this tweet, and I would like you guys to see it, and then we'll talk about it much more. Giving you guys some more time to decide if you want to stick around or not. These are the themes, and the next picture will be of the tweet with some words blurred, but we will be talking about that a bit in detail. You have time. So this Twitter user says, the fact that no one on here that I have noticed have said anything at all to this account. It popped up on my page and my jaw dropped. So I'm calling them out on it. This is wrong. It's disgusting and shouldn't be within this fandom. I am sick to my stomach even looking at this. And basically the content that is hidden here or censored here is bits of fiction, fan fiction, and it contains all the incestuous and essay themes. So I'll just attach the next tweet here. Now, I'm not going to read any of what's written here. You guys can see it for yourself. I've censored some words because I find them uncomfortable. And I would rather you guys read this on your own. So you can just pause and read if you feel like it. And then there's a follow-up tweet with this, and it says, these people need to be called out on it. They need to be shamed and absolutely blasted since they think this is an okay thing to post online. If this is what they post behind a screen, who's to tell what they're like in real life? Along with this account posting this, the people following, like in comments, should all be investigated. Absolute scum on earth or off earth. Now, for the sake of our convenience, I'm going to call the one who's tweeting this as user A, and the one who was in the screenshots writing this fiction, I'm going to call them as user X. So this has opened a big can of worms. I think we in the fandom have not seen us talk about this, and I think it's a good opportunity to talk about how we look at fiction, especially because this is the community, this is lads, and I want to know what your opinions are on these themes. If you guys think that this is okay to do so, and this is what the essay is also going to be about. We've been in fandom spaces for so long, and we all know that they're full of creativity. With fan arts, fanfics, edits, memes, it's what keeps the community alive. But every now and then, there's always something that pops up that makes people stop and wonder. Has a line been crossed? And now looking back at those tweets, I have the same question. Did the person cross a line, or were being too strict? As you can see from that conversation, from that tweet, I want to know if you guys feel divided about a player writing content about love and deep space allies, but framed in ways like father-daughter relationships, uncle-niece scenarios, even turning Zayn into a doctor who was sexually abusing the MC under the guise of medical exams. And here's the thing. Some people are probably horrified, just like the Twitter user there. Twitter user A. We call them that, right? and others probably scrolled past without blinking an eye. Because I suppose for them, it just seems like that just a mature taboo theme. Now, on one hand, the fandom has always had spice, right? There's a long history of fan fiction exploring taboo or dark themes, and often people defend it as just fantasy. It's not real, so why does it matter? But here's where it gets complicated. When does its just fantasy label become a normalization of things we'd never want near our fandoms or our communities? But then some may even argue that maybe it's a part of the fandom. It's part of the smut category. So why not? If we have enough trigger warnings, then why can't we have them? For those who are, I don't want to say connoisseurs, connoisseurs. I can't pronounce this French word, but you get what I'm saying, right? So, if you're honest, smut is absolutely normalized in fandom, and there's no problem with that because we all indulge in it one time or the other, or if you go by Twitter and Tumblr, on a daily basis. Spicy edits are normal, suggestive fics are normal, all of that is normal. But do you cross a line when you step into incest, non-con grooming scenarios? Should those also be treated just as another flavor of spice, as I mentioned? Or is there an actual line that cannot be crossed? And if so, what is it? Where do we draw the line in this situation? The bigger issue here is audience, I believe. Love and Deepspace, like a lot of games, has minors in this fandom. Unfortunate, but a very glaring truth. And that itself is another topic for us to dwell upon. But for the sake of staying true to this one, I do want to, talk about the fact that they are there. And there are other people also who are sensitive to these topics, and it can be so triggering for them. Because sometimes, and as you can see from these screenshots earlier, that nobody posted trigger warnings, and I'm not sure if they expected the person to be taking screenshots and, reposting them. But, well, now a bunch of people do know about this. Anyhow, so there are people who, the minors, comment, they create, they consume. So even if you personally believe fiction doesn't equal reality, what happens when that content bleeds into a community where not everyone has the maturity or even the safety net to process it? And I'm talking about, we don't know if what amount of minors are here in the fandom, but I know they're there, lurking probably. And there are also people who are sensitive with trigger warnings, lots of trauma and stuff like that. So that is also, looming at large as a question. At what point it's about, not just about fantasy, but about responsibility. And this isn't even unique to lads, right? Because again, like, being part of fandom means you're seeing different games, you're seeing different genres. So it could be anything, maybe an anime. And I feel that this is more prevalent in most animes, because the way even animes in some context have, or anime fans in some context have normalized this. So I believe that this is very, very prevalent in anime fandoms, but it could be also in K-pop fandoms, in other gaming fandoms, like probably, I think the one that comes mostly to my mind is Genshin and Hoyoverse, Honkai, maybe other such games. So you can think about all the games, to be honest, in this context. And there's always this defense of don't like it, don't read it. But should we really apply that blanket rule to everything? Or are there certain topics like incest, non-con, SA, grooming, etc., that shouldn't be treated just like another trope in the toolbox? So I will leave you with this question. Is everything fair game in fandom just because it's fiction? Or do we as communities need to start deciding that some lines aren't meant to be blurred, even in fantasy? And especially with the way the allies always get targeted with horrible notions. Caleb girls and Caleb mains are already suffering because he's painted like a massive groomer. And every day it's a fight to save Caleb's identity and his character. So it doesn't really help any of the allies with these kind of, fanfics, and people constantly throwing him under the bus along with other allies for, again, various reasons. And, the worst is always the grooming ones. And I think Silas also faced this in Catch 22. So it's already pretty bad. And if we keep on, encouraging this, do you guys think it'll get worse? Because if fandom is where we come to celebrate things we love, then maybe it's worth asking what kind of love and what kind of stories we actually want to build around our characters. Because to us, our allies are so loved and so lovable that we try so hard to keep defending them and keep raising awareness about their character development or sacrifices, their journeys, etc., etc., etc. Anyhow, my question is to all of you guys, where do we draw the line? If there is a line to be drawn, what do we do? How do we look at this situation? So the comment section is yours. Please feel free to take it away. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, this is Nori signing off. Do take care and stay safe, you guys.